There's been a bit of a change with Twitch, so I'm hoping to see that everything is good here in YouTube. So yay, that is looking good. YouTube, is it also looking good? Maybe not so much. The live stream is down here. Does it know I'm going live here on YouTube? It should. Well, we'll see if anybody shows up from YouTube. I'm not seeing that. I've changed things there too. Okay, well, hello everyone. How you doing? I know there's probably nobody watching just yet because we just got started. Ah, well, Toy Jet's there. Well, hello. You getting ready to watch me do the great encirclement here? And Ari thinks I'm gonna, and Ari's already here, and Ari thinks I'm gonna overrun the German Reich very soon. But I'm not saying he's wrong. But we're gonna see. I've always wondered, you know, the AI might find it, you know, more important to go reinforce their occupation in Japan or something. So we'll see how that goes. And hello, Andy Booyah. How you doing? Hope I got that name right. Liberate from the oppressive yoke of the fascist invaders. Absolutely. That's what we need to do. We need to liberate the Ukraine from the fascist invaders and make them safe from freedom and prosperity as well. Okay, these are the counterinsurgency tech divisions. Okay, let's move these guys here sort of in preparation to push that way. Let's see if we can put a general in charge here. Infantry officer, he may get better over time, and then come down here and my math is correct. We want to select 3 of these and then unassign them so that we go down to 24 divisions. And what are we all saying? I was busy putting Russian propaganda in Discord. Well, cool. Waiting for the stream to start. Okay. Question of post-war Poland. Rightful borders? Right. Well, of course the rightful borders. They will be included in the Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. We will include, there'll be, you know, the Soviet Socialist Republic of Germany, the Soviet Socialist Republic of Poland, well, maybe Slovakia and Czechia, and Soviet Socialist Republic of Budapest, and, you know, maybe we'll give some of these, it might get some sub. Oh, well, they'll be free from prosperity and free from excessive need to make too many choices in their life. Oh, they'll be free, don't worry. We believe in freedom. We believe in freedom. You just got to understand what's the freedom that's most important. Freedom from materialism, capitalism. They'll be completely free of capitalism. free from unnecessary choices. Okay, well, let's see. Let's see if there's any national focuses we should be doing. We're not really ready for war with Japan yet. Okay. Yeah, their tree could use work. Now, here, you guys should cross the river. Give that advance a little. More depth to it, you can push there. Okay, they could use 3 more divisions, I guess. Good God, I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to there, toy. And even if you think so, no, I'm not your god, so yeah, oh, everybody wants socialism. Gotta use the right term, of course. Hey, thanks for hosting, Arno. Good to have you here. I think we're going to attack just to pin those forces. We'll start recording an episode soon, but attack into Kursk there. Oh, yes, okay. Now, yes, we are trying to pocket, but we want to put pressure on more than one front because then it would allow them to shift forces maybe a little too much. Well, you know, if we move the armor here, we're going to push with this armor here like that. I don't know if this... Those infantry divisions attacking there. I wish I could schedule a support attack. Yes, hello Arno, how you doing? Let's move. Well... around here, see if we can move, get to this side of the river here. I don't know this river's name, and try to create a sort of mini pocket within what's going to be the Great Pocket. Now, here, this, we could have 5 more divisions. Okay, let's attack there to pin forces that way. Okay, we have a... I'm sure that's a lot of work there, Arno. No, this is single player. Getting ready for that. This is just... I have done some multiplayer, but this is just single player. Playing as the Soviet Union, getting ready to make some episodes. Now I have a question for you all before we get started. I wanted to do this before start recording the episode. I don't know how correct this is. I also don't know exactly if this was very recent or, in the last few days, or if this is just something that's generally recently happened, maybe months ago or something. So, don't know. The LAPD, that's the Long Beach Police Department. I don't know what truck is driving by right now. Rather largish one. Okay. It's gonna go on. Okay, legit change teams just to kill Soviets. Okay. Don't know who you're talking about right offhand there, Barry. Okay, the LAPD, it was announced. No, not the LAPD. Exactly, but sort of the sub-branch of the LAPD, because there's different sort of departments within it. But the group that are specifically there for the schools, police for the schools. That often they'll have a police car or two out in front of schools with some policemen just there to protect the school, to deal with problems on the school. But sort of the sub-branch of the LAPD, I may have some details wrong on this, but the sub-branch of the LAPD dealing with the schools, they've stated that they're not going to give up their armored car, which is sort of an MRAP thing that they got from the military, or some of their guns, but they are going to give up their grenade launchers. Now, do you think it's a good idea because this is an attempt to demilitarize the police? I'm sure you kind of get the context of what's going on with all this. Man who was in 3 armies, Finland, USA, the guy who sabotaged. Okay, that's good. I've listened to a lot of their songs. I don't remember all of them. Do you think, in an attempt to demilitarize the police, do you think it's a good idea for the police dealing with the schools and children to give up the grenade launchers? I would like to know what chat thinks about that, either on YouTube or Twitch or wherever you may be. What do you think about? Should they give up their grenade launchers? Should they keep their grenade launchers? Should they get more grenade launchers? Hell no. I don't know. Well, okay. They should give up their grenade launchers. I guess it's hell no on giving them up. Or is that hell no, they shouldn't have them? I'm not absolutely sure. I could go either way. They should get more. Arno says more grenade launchers. Order. One step back. Why did they? Well, because this would be somebody's answer, is because the police are or have been or being militarized in the U.S. So, okay, well, so far only 2 of you are commenting on this. I'm sort of a little bit stalling to give other people time to. So Arno says more grenade launchers. Toy Jet is by his statement, is why they have them in the first place. So probably no, he thinks. That seems to be, this was, I just saw it. I don't remember exactly if I follow or Ethan Klein, H3H3 Fame tweeted about this within the last 24 hours. That, that they should get rid, or, they're only getting that. As a hardline monarchist, rebels must fall after all. Okay, so areas for, I guess, them having grenade launchers. Now, maybe could change Toyjet's opinion is, what if, or not what if, but you do understand that grenade launchers, military grenade launchers, that is, we're talking military grenade launchers, do shoot tear gas. They do, no, let me rephrase that. Military grenade launchers launch tear gas grenades. So by having, say, in the back of every police car, a grenade launcher, they're sitting out in front of the school, having in every single car, having a grenade launcher, they could have a grenade launcher with tear gas grenades in it, so that, let's say, if there is a situation, a flash hostage situation, and it could be just one student choking another student or having a broken piece of glass. They didn't even have to necessarily come to school with a gun or an assault knife, we'll call it that, because it could be a butter knife that they got in the cafeteria, at somebody's throat, potentially, or something like that, some sort of hostage situation that could be flaring up immediately. Oh, it could be flaring up immediately, and instead of waiting for the SWAT team or something like that, the police officer, and you might be in a situation that they're in a classroom or something that they can't quite see them, because one person suggested pepper ball shooters, but I can't quite see them, that you want to fire a tear gas grenade in to the classroom, that quickly have it fill with tear gas and then say rush it, that since without the grenade launchers, maybe they just have to shoot the child instead, a troubled child that we don't want to have killed. But living in a nation where measures like those have never been used, I cannot see the reason to consider it to be rather drastic by Norwegian standards. Yeah, but I'm saying it can be very much used as a non-lethal instead of using lethal force. So by, only having guns, then, all you can do is shoot them. This is an attempt at non-lethal or less than lethal, because sometimes obviously you can have an allergic reaction, or you can have somebody who has asthma and shoot in tear gas, or depending on the type of tear gas canisters, some of them spread the tear gas simply by being on fire, so that they can catch the building on fire and everybody can burn down in it. But that happened to a bunch of children and others at the Branch Davidian compound in Texas under, the understanding and peaceful president of Democrat Bill Clinton, of course. A PAC-40 would do the job. Yeah, no, we were talking more a little realistic, because they don't have PAC-40s around today. But yes, it would do a job. So yeah, people are jumping on all of this stuff and wanting to see everything in a negative light. The idea that the police have grenade launchers, military grenade launchers. Yeah, if these rebels didn't die, the army would move in. Well, we're not talking about rebels. I was just talking about a situation in school. The school police might have to deal with, and people's perceptions of what is maybe the better thing to do or not do, or whatever. You guys come out of that pocket as well and come down here. We're going to get ready and attack. Well, maybe if you can all the way down to there, that could be good. And we can do several encirclements. All right. Let's start making an episode. Yeah. Welcome, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here, with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 4, playing as the Soviet Union. First real playthrough as the Soviet Union for me after all these mini games of the game that I played. Sort of a redundant sentence, yes, but we'll continue that. Now, before I get started on that, if you haven't already, and most of you that watch the channel haven't, please subscribe to the channel. I hope you would, to see many more great Hearts of Iron and other historical gaming videos. And you can smash that like button. I'd like to hear your comments. Okay, well, we're trying to set up a pocket of the Ukraine here. We are pushing, well, we're defending technically right here, but we're pushing forces down into here to then hopefully jump across the river and getting to there. But in doing so, we're also doing some attacks along here, getting ready to do a sort of a miniature pocket here, and we're pushing up here. A lot of this is to sort of force the AI to keep forces in here. Sure, it may shrink the overall size of the pocket, but hope them to keep the forces in here instead of having them retreat out or to move to block our main push. And we're also breaking out from here as well. So we are going to very much try to do that. And just to give you the world situation, there's been a D-Day landing that's now hooked up to many areas. And Vichy France is actively in the Axis right now. An Anvil landing that's happened an earlier landing up in the Netherlands. They had taken Brussels and a good chunk of Belgium, but that's been pushed back. And Britain is still somewhat fighting for its life in North Africa. Note, Vichy France is in the Axis, and Italy, of course, is in the Axis, and they're controlling much of Africa, but Japan is out of the war, and so they can get the full attention of of all the allies. So that is the current world situation. So we're going to continue this here. Just wanted to give everybody an update. You're either moving out or moving forces to block my push. Okay, let's just put one division. Looks like they're trying to send forces up there. No, just one division. Okay. Support that attack. You can support this attack. You guys can support that, so that is something of a heavier blow. Okay, they're gonna push like organized. We do not want it anymore. We do not. The sickle or the hammer. Oh no. We're gonna use the hammer to reshape the Polish people, and the sickle to weed out those reactionaries that are against the will of the Soviet. Well, we need to keep pressure up here just to, like, they're going to reinforce into there. Even if we don't take this, it will be useful to. Okay, yes, we need to keep pushing here. You open, and rush into there with you backing that up. The hammer to nail in the coffins of the artists and the musicians, as the Finns would say. Oh, we're going to hammer away at those that choose not to fully embrace the wonders and benefits of socialism, whatever they may be. We've yet to determine a benefit of socialism, but everybody must have it. Yes, I don't know of a single benefit of socialism. Okay, that's going to be a pinning attack. But not last long, but hopefully pin the forces a bit. There's one division attacking there. Okay, good. You expand here. Belgium has capitulated. Okay, well that was the reinstated Belgium. Let's see, what can we do here? Again, I don't like the way this works. Yeah, extensive conscription. We are trying to cut off the Ukraine, yes. I am still worried about stacking to some degree, but let's keep pushing there. Okay, it looks like we are mostly here ready for our offensive from the south. Okay, now that does look like it's ready to go, and I think here is where the hammer blow will fall. Blows of the hammer to reshape, to reforge mankind, because we don't like mankind, of course. You make your attack there. Well, we've got curse, good. Okay, well, you made it to here, good. Oh, pause. We come down to here. Part of my competence made you think I want to debate. Right, yes. Stalinism all the way. Stalinism works, don't you know? Okay, good. We are across the river. They're going to join forces. Okay, no, we can't have you push it leaving Rommel. We gotta have the large amount of forces defending there. Across the river. You support that attack. Along with you. Oh good, we've made it across the river here. I haven't been paying close enough attention. Okay, well, let's see if we can take this peninsula here with a couple of forces, but our main blow will be straight north, but we're going to take 2 divisions of push here. That will leave us 5 to go north. Blossom out. Be in their rear. Let's hammer blows there. Make them anti-aircraft upgrade. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, well, the PPSH-43 or the, well, Soviets didn't go in for rocket launchers that just have to attack south of Kiev. Yes, we are pushing. Where's Kiev is? Oh, here. Yeah, we're trying to shift in enough forces to get through and down here. You can see these guys are coming. I am, like I say, worried a bit about overstacking. Okay, you support this attack. Okay, let's look at our production here. How bad are we off in tanks? A lot. That isn't helping us at all, of course. Okay, we should be producing more factories. They should have our priority over rebuilding infrastructure. There we go. Okay, now that we have a reasonable force here, do we attack our own old bunkers or do we try to attack here? I think we're going to go here. You support that attack, just to try to make it fast and hard. And okay, keep them from shifting too many forces down that way. Let's attack here. Oh good, okay, we've made it to here now. They can come up that way. Didn't we have you guys moving a little more aggressively? Okay, yes, keep pushing this way. My own fortifications are... Oh, pause. What is slowing me up to some degree? Yeah, ace pilot. Okay. Now we've got a nice little small pocket here. And is there a good place to push right now? Maybe not. Stalingrad stands despite enemy onslaught. The defenders of Stalingrad had stood firm. Okay. Stalingrad. Don't understand that. Okay. You push there, just to push on them. Okay, where are you going? No, you stop there and you support that attack. You guys attack to there. You join that. You support that. And they have been pushing too far out of. Okay, well, let's hit this division here. I knew playing Kalinka several times would mean a Russian victory. Happened eventually. Okay, good. Oh, come on, you're supposed to be... Okay, looks like maybe you are. Linking up there. You can come from that angle. Will we seal this pocket up? Not yet. Okay. Well, you guys can attack northwards. One of you join in. And one of you support. Liberation of Paris, a significant development. Yes, that would be a significant development. Okay, so they've done that. They're still holding out in the Netherlands. Okay, well, we've got a pockety situation here, so let's push there, let's push here. These guys haven't really got their acts together yet, the AI generals, that is. What is start lend lease? Well now some M1 Garand support equipment, P-38 Aero Cobra, or P-39 I should say, and 19, yes, old bombers, sure. That would be useful. Okay, good. Now we can move these guys up here to the front. Getting ready to push out here as well. Will one of these offensives work? Well, this one's sort of working here, so let's push. Let's see if we can create another mini pocket here. You go like that. You come down to here. Yeah, I know there's fortress there, but hopefully I'm gonna push there fast enough, hard enough to take it before they can, if you will, dig into the fortress. There we go. Oh good, we just made it across here. Okay. Now with... yeah, let's send you to there. You to there. And maybe you down to there. And... you guys. Okay, who isn't moving? You're not moving. You support that attack. We want to keep pressure up on everywhere. Very good. Very, very good. You can support that attack. They're still trying to get across the river. You go to there. Oh, come on, you guys keep pushing on this pocket. Where are you going? No, you don't circle all the way the freak around the pocket, you stupid, stupid fool. You push on the pocket. Okay, well, we're across. Good. Support that attack. Let's get the armor across there. Where are you going? No, you don't go out to there. You attack, you support the attack. Okay, well, that may be a bit of a problem. Okay, well, we do have some forces over here, so let's get you over to here. Yes, good. And you guys come to there, just in case that whole front thing collapses. We'll have some forces there. Hungary claims overlordship of Slovakia. How interesting. Don't they know it's time to like start switching sides? Okay, well, this could be another pocket here, so let's German right Okay, he's too hungry. Okay. There we go, another mini pocket. We may just digest this big pocket in bite-sized pieces, which isn't a bad thing. Just may not be as dramatic of a thing. Okay, let's put all of you there, because I don't think all of you are going to. Be intact to take it. Okay, that one division looks like it's going to be lost. Or is now already lost. Okay, yeah, you're doing good to hold out there. Okay, yeah, you'll join his force. Okay, keep pushing on this pocket, gentlemen. Well, you're not gentlemen. Soviet soldiers, that's what you are, liberators of the people. Cannon? No, not cannon fodder. I'm not sure you have. Oh, Kiev. Oh, yeah, here, I know. Sort of hoping speed and violence does the trick. As well as maybe my AI does. Okay, you stop. Big stack, you come down there. Okay, now that we have more troops on the front line, okay, well, our tanks were running out of tanks. Oh, you come here. Let's vigorously attack pockets so long as you have decent organization. Has decrypted our ciphers and started making information gained from reading our messages widely available to field commanders. They will get various combat bonuses against us for the next 30 days. Oh, lovely. Just what we didn't need, but okay. Okay, pocket. Rush the pocket. No, you attack the pocket. Now continue to circle about the pocket. I know it's an interesting concept indeed, but still. Okay, which general is that? General? Okay. Let's move you guys across the straits, keep the 4 divisions there in reserve. Yes, let's see, you guys could go here to help hold out there. Okay, nice pilot promoted. Well, isn't that nice?
Жду приказа. Жду приказа. Я готов. Слушаю.
Oh, good, you're here. Okay. Rush into there, and I guess you can rush into there.
Жду приказа. Жду приказа. Выходим. Готов. Брось. Вперед!
Reconnaissance company improvements, very good. What's IQB saying? Should my HOI third black ice map folder have a folder with a ton of files named? Yeah, that seems right. I believe so. That's sort of the map, if you will. Not the graphical element, I don't believe. I believe that is... I'm not absolutely sure. I think that is the description, you know, within the game of that. Well, let's do maintenance companies. Keep some of our tanks in operation. That'd be a novel concept, of course.
Так точно. Выходим.
Crush the pocket. Pocket crushing leads to victory.
Я готов. Выходим. Смирно. Готов.
That attack, I know we're attacking into a fortification, but still.
Так точно. Готов выдвигаться. Выходим.
Looks like Minsk is open. Let's drive to Minsk. Let's unconcentrate some of this force. So you guys can go right, or one of you go right to there.
Внимание.
One of you go south. The rest, we will keep some level of concentration. And
Точно.
you and
Жду приказа.
motorized division, and you three attack there. Probably do a mass attack in the north. They seem to be spread thin. Oh yeah, you're absolutely right there, Harry. Okay. Let's do a whole front attack. We'll leave these out because they're bunkers, so we'll hit them
Я готов.
here
Выходим.
fairly hard.
Смирно. Выходим. Я готов. Выходим. Выходим. Готов. Так точно. Мирно.
Well, that seems a brilliant move there, Harry. We've lulled them into the security of thinking that that front ain't gonna move, I guess. Maybe, I don't know what the AI thought. Or it just had, oh shit, things are even worse over somewhere else. Okay, oh yes, move into this empty spot there.
Готов выдвигаться. Так точно. Готов.
There we go, counterattack. Very good.
Готов
Come on,
выдвигаться.
didn't I tell you to vigorously attack the pockets?
Смирно!
And I actually sort of kind of meant it.
Готов выдвигаться. Я готов. Жду приказа.
They're actively moving more forces into Kiev. Oh, this didn't work out as well as I'd hoped. Okay, well. Hey, I'm sure it disrupted their day a bit. Okay, well. Okay, well, we could expand. Well, we need more tanks. Lots more tanks. Light, medium, more tanks. Okay, so what does that mean we'll do? We'll do more tanks. Okay, and more productions of factories. Yeah, Leningrad looks reasonably safe to stick a factory in right now. There we go. And how are we doing with... Okay, well, we're still in 42, so I don't necessarily think we should push faster on that. Okay, we will strike ground. Okay, yes, and we will spend the 100 to faster research.
Так точно.
Okay, well, we pushed them out of Minsk. Let's attack here.
Смирно.
Attack there.
Слушаю.
But let's see.
Так точно. Выходим! Внимание! Выходим! Так точно. Готов выдвигаться. Выходим! Слушаю. Выходим! Брось! Готов. Я готов. Мирно. Мирно. Слушаю. Выходим.
Okay, good. You've finally got those pockets closed. We'll let that be for the moment.
Мирно.
Well, it worked out a little bit. Not maybe as well as I'd hoped.
приказа. Мирно.
Well, one division stay back there for counterattacks. I think
Готов
we'll add
выдвигаться.
one more division up there. Still, they'll keep some to make sure they don't somehow slip past to take Crimea. Well, we're going to end this episode, not the live stream, everybody, but this episode here. I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for liking videos. And see you next time for more, yes, more Hearts of Iron. Okay, yes, we will be continuing this. Let's just make a save. Now, I was thinking of playing Evil Democracy a bit later, but during the stream. Don't know if you guys are interested in seeing that or not. I'd like to hear your opinions, because I don't have to play it now. But just thought maybe you might want to interact and talk about things. Okay, yeah, we're overstacked here.
Так точно.
Let's put all of you on trains and come over to here. Certainly overstack that, but I think that is a good idea. I don't know if Evil Democracy isn't, if you're not quite catching it, it's a pre-release game that's about the German 1932 elections. A new party bit, but maybe we should secure the war. Well, we're going to play another couple episodes here for sure of HOI 4, but I just wondered if you guys were interested in seeing that. No, I'm not going to be playing the British one. I know you're interested in that, and that's cool, and I'm interested in it too, maybe, but I'm only going to do one series at most at a time in that game.
Готов выдвигаться. Готов? Выходим.
We won't do it because no one seems terribly interested. Okay. Well, we'll start another episode here, of course. Well, I'm going to grab a Coke. I will be back in just a moment. I'll let you look at this oh so stunning of a map. Okay. Let's get this going here. Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer1745 here with my continuing playthrough of, yes, excuse me, of, no, I don't like that start. Let's stop this. Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer1745 here, and if either it's not a welcome back, it's a welcome, or you just been here but haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. I'd love to see you around more often. So we're going to continue this. You can also smash that like button.
Слушаю. Смирно.
And not. Okay, you're coming into there. You push into there. You guys attack across here again.
Готов выдвигаться. Ройс! Выходим!
That one division get
Выходим!
organized a bit better.
Я готов. Готов.
Let's move 2 divisions into here.
Внимание!
Well, I don't think we'll be into Berlin by Christmas, but we are moving in a good direction. There, okay. Well, we could improve our high command. I don't think airborne assault is necessary. Yeah, army regrouping sounds like a good mission statement. And we do have fairly interesting pocketing going on. Okay, good. Now we got
Мирно! Готов выдвигаться.
fair amount of divisions there. Hello, blue, white, red. How you doing today? Okay, we've smashed fairly deep. Almost cut this off. Let's see if we can support that attack. Create another pocket up here for a general advance. Okay, you guys push there.
Готов? Так точно. Внимание! Мирно!
You support. You come, well, one of you come down here. Allies might make it to before you doing this timeline. Oh, they might make it to Berlin before us. They've liberated Belgium and Netherlands, and the Netherlands is probably not so much Dutch forces, but whoever it is up here is pushed in there. I'm going to sneeze in a moment. Maybe not. We'll see. And that's definitely helping me a lot, keeping me down here. Well, we can take a look at some naval battles. Well, they took out one of our aircraft. Inconclusive there. It looks like it for the Italians did attack up here and I guess still occupy that. That's maybe a good thing, meaning they have forces occupying a useless bit of terrain. Okay, well, it looks as again they've abandoned some of their front line for more important fronts.
Жду приказа. Готов выдвигаться. Готов выдвигаться. Внимание!
You can support that. Advance. Okay, well.
Готов выдвигаться. Так точно.
Just something of a general push. I know we are trying to create a pocket. I am keeping that in mind. But we can
Я готов.
keep them from supporting up here too much. Okay, why aren't we having anybody in there? Did you get pushed back, maybe?
Слушаю.
Well, you can support that advance.
Внимание. Готов? Выходим! Слушаю.
Well, since the road is open, we'll take it. The fall of Cairo. Oh. So the Italians are still making more advances in it in North Africa. Wow, how interesting. That is an interesting development. I don't know what coat of arms reading. What are we talking? What is Ari going on about? Greece is back. Oh yes, you're right. Greece is back. I hadn't noticed. But Vichy France is expanding. How are we doing for production? Okay, tanks. Medium light. Well, we're currently making more than we're using up, but we're still a massive deficit of tanks. And aircraft and other things, yeah. But lack of production isn't going to slow us down much.
Мирно. Мирно. Готов.
Okay, well, Rostov we fortified, so that is a city I don't want to attack directly. We'll see if we can surround it. Oh good, you guys finally made the pocket here. And yes, it is a fortified
Внимание.
city pocket, but we can hopefully push well enough.
Готов выдвигаться.
Let's leave the tanks out of that push.
Так точно. Брось.
And it looks like they got
Так
that
точно.
damn well.
Так точно.
You guys push there.
Я готов.
Okay, a bunch of you come up to here because otherwise
Готов выдвигаться.
that may become a problem.
Так точно. Так точно.
Oh, well, you come this way. I want you to. And you guys attack there just to pin this force down. Okay, not going as well as I hoped, but not going terrible either.
Так точно. Так точно. Внимание. Жду приказа.
So, push in that region as well.
Так точно.
Support that attack. Support that attack.
Так точно. Мирно.
Attack there to pin. We occupy there and then cut. Well, maybe a few divisions as it were, but still.
Готов выдвигаться.
No, actually, you go there. You come here. Along with you fighting across the river.
Внимание.
You can support that attack. Okay, well, you guys...
Выходим! Выходим!
Oh, well, maybe immediately attack there.
Внимание! Я готов! Так точно!
Hello, Raghar. Is she? Is Russian more important for getting resources than being conquered? Are you talking historical or are you talking within the game? Sometimes I presume people are talking historical and they really mean within the game.
Готов? Мирно!
Both. Okay. Well, let's see. Historically, from the National Socialist perspective, and I know I've seen people that argue things out on economics, but and most of the history professors and whatnot are infected with Marxism. And I don't necessarily mean communism. I mean Marx's view of history is primarily motivated by economics. I would disagree with that. Humans and history and whatnot are primarily motivated by emotion, I would say, not economics. But the National Socialists see things in racial terms and see the Russians as, outside of the Jews, as the primary sort of racial enemy that they have to fight. And that can infect them and whatnot. So, you know, the French, the English, you can sort of kind of coexist with them to some degree within National Socialist philosophy. So within National Socialist philosophy, if you sort of lose a war to the French, well, your borders may change a bit or something like that, where it's sort of existential, sort of like we will live or they will live, but neither both of us will live kind of thing within National Socialist philosophy. So you have to destroy the Soviet Union. So from the National Socialist viewpoint, you have to take on the Soviet Union. Now, from the war-winning standpoint, well, you shouldn't take on too many enemies at once. And if you're doing well in other theaters, and the Soviets are sending you resources, then no, it's better not to attack them. And so it would be better to keep them at peace. And we're still talking historically. I've thought for a long time, maybe not always, that Germany doesn't necessarily need to conquer Britain, but if it secures the Mediterranean, which may or may not include Gibraltar. Gibraltar is important, but Gibraltar itself just gives access to. But if you truly secure it up, you know, Egypt, the Suez, you know, what is here currently Vichy France, Syria, Israel, whatnot. You've secured all of that. And then maybe it is time to attack the Soviet Union while Britain is still at war with you. Maybe. Just saying maybe. But definitely not when they did. It was victory disease and not good to do it when they did. So, historically. Now, in game terms, it's a similar sort of thing in my opinion. It's better to take the Mediterranean first, though I have played in, and I sort of to some degree conflate Hearts of Iron 3 and Hearts of Iron 4. I've recently played a game as Germany in which immediately after taking Poland, go to war with the Soviet Union, and I took out the Soviet Union before taking out France. Just, go east. I did it. So you can push early in a few other games. I'm not waited for taking of the Mediterranean to push in, but normally I like to wait. So it's timing, and I don't know if there's for sure one, this is the solution kind of thing. Okay, let's push here. And yes, 3 more.
Выходим! Выходим!
Let's see if we can create another pocket. 3 more provinces right through here if we can. And we need to sort of kind of hold down here. Okay, well, let's... Okay, well, let's disband the orders, because we're going to send you... We're here because I think sort of areas pointing out that would be a nice... Why aren't you letting me do that?
Я готов. Выходим!
There we go, push there. Yes, well, we're going to encircle Rostov because it's fortified and I don't need to entirely use cannon fodder up badly. No, it looks like they've
Готов выдвигаться.
abandoned that, so we'll push there, maybe down to here. Remember, all the provinces along the, north or east side of that river have fortifications, so we haven't really wanted to push hard where there's fortifications. Okay, so we're across the river here. You push into there. You encircle that. You guys advance up. You guys advance up.
Готов выдвигаться.
You guys might as well.
Жду приказа.
Okay, come on.
Слушаю.
Come on. Take these pockets down.
Мирно. Готов.
No, just an NKVD division, but push.
Так точно.
Like any of those need to stay there, so you go to there.
Я готов.
You go to there. You just take that.
Брось.
You push into there. You push into there. Make them feel the pressure.
Так точно.
You can support that attack before they get organized and defend.
Я готов. Я готов. Мирно.
Well, we've almost got the pocket here.
Слушаю.
And you might as well start pushing into Romanian territory. And
Мирно.
okay, keep pushing on these pockets, guys.
Выходим. Слушаю.
Okay, well, that's worked out rather well.
Брось.
You push up to there. You push.
Готов выдвигаться.
a real division if we can leave the NKVD there.
Выдвигаться. Ройс. Выходим. Выходим. Мирно. Так точно. Жду приказа.
There we go. That is doing well. Okay, well, let's... One of you push there. One of you push there.
Так точно.
You're going there, so fine. You push to there.
Мирно.
You push to there. You push to there. Okay, shot down.
Я готов.
You support that attack. That's an important attack.
Выходим.
So all of our
Я готов.
formidable divisions forward to
Выходим.
there. You guys come down
Выходим.
here. Yeah, they're reacting hard, but
Ройс. Выходим.
no, you go to there.
Так точно. Слушаю. Жду приказа.
What are there, 69 divisions or something in there? Maybe not that many.
Выходим.
What did I click? No.
Выходим.
You can go and take the air base. They'll... No, you can just keep moving to there.
Я готов.
These guys can move to the air base.
Внимание. Ройс. Жду приказа. Жду приказа. Мирно.
Come on, some pinning attacks.
Я готов. Я готов. Так точно. Жду приказа.
Not sure exactly where you're, if you're thinking attacking there, but we're a bit weak. There, and I may have diverted more forces than I should have to
Внимание.
some other part of the front, but hey. You know, let's take all of these guys, send them over to here, as well as
Выходим. Жду приказа. Слушаю. Готов подвигаться.
we definitely want to be hitting this province from more than one direction.
Внимание. Готов подвигаться. Готов подвигаться.
Yeah, we could use the factories back.
Выходим. Мирно.
directly to the right, the one you're attacking, the encirclement. You're talking attack here, maybe? Yeah, I think if I don't keep, I mean, well, maybe with a pinning force.
Выходим!
Like that. I just don't want to lose this province from a counterattack. And they just shift their forces one way or another if I didn't do too much. There we go.
Готов выдвигаться. Так точно. Внимание!
There we go. The Great Encirclement. May not seem quite as great because we have taken out a bunch of divisions in smaller encirclements along the way.
Готов?
Okay, well now. Oh, come. You
Смирно!
know, you are
Брось!
doomed.
Я готов! Выходим! Слушаю! Готов! Слушаю! Я готов!
Okay, well,
Жду приказа! Готов!
let's send 2 divisions here, see if we can cut off a few up
Я готов!
in the north.
Жду приказа! Смирно! Так точно! Готов!
There we go.
Так точно! Брось! Готов выдвигаться! Я готов! Так точно! Готов выдвигаться! Готов! Брось!
We don't want them breaking out under any circumstances.
Так точно!
Yes, you attack Stolino, you come this way, then up at Stolino.
Жду приказа!
What we could do being more research and might as well. PPSHs and, well, okay, we have a lot of tanks in production. How badly are we? Well, could maybe use some more light tanks. Keep those divisions full. Right now I'm not really upgrading quality of production equipment, just want more. Oh, we need rubber, and see if we can trade for some rubber. Oh, that's because some of our rubber sources have been cut off. Oh, well, we can get it from British Malaya, so let's end that. Let's end that. Let's end that, and then, but let's see if we can get it from there. So let's increase it by, no, not by that much, come on. 20, 32. And okay, the United States is not sending us any. Why not? No. No, they're not going to send us any. Maybe British Malaya will. There we go. That will help our production, get that going in a good or better, at least.
Выходим! Так точно! Мирно! Выходим!
Taking Kharkov would be nice. Let's see if we do a bit of a mini encirclement within the encirclement there.
Брось! Внимание! Внимание! Слушаю!
Stop drawing those silly lines.
Мирно!
And good, we've taken Rostov, so you guys
Выходим!
push up like that.
Слушаю! Готов!
Like I was saying before, you
Готов выдвигаться!
historians often read history backwards. And I definitely can be guilty of that too. And by reading history backwards, if you don't understand, we know the results of history, so we look back, we look at the steps backward, as opposed to taking it from the perspective of the people at the time, not knowing what the outcome, or however you want to say it, is going to be or likely going to be. And we can also see the idea that historians, I don't think, always look at the views or the motivations of the people at the time. This is not backwards so much, but as they look at history like through, and we're going through this right now in our society right now, of judging people in the past by the standards of today. Take down their statue. Some of the statues I could probably agree with taking them down, but I absolutely abhor the idea, including I've seen historians call for them to be taken down by mobs, meaning vote. Now the problem is in some, I guess there's some guy who helps develop Bristol in England, and he was involved in the slave trade. Well, Bristol itself was involved in the slave trade heavily. I mean, I don't know if there's hardly ever slaves ever show up in Bristol, but the ships leaving the port definitely were. And we need to get rid of this statue. And what may happen is every time that people go vote on it, people vote to keep it. So the mob realizes they can't get it through popular democratic action. But, and so you have things like that, or you have, hey, Jefferson Davis, he is the president, if you don't know, I don't know, all the Europeans know this well, president of the Confederacy. Wasn't he, maybe somebody correct me, wasn't he also maybe a vice president of the United States? He was definitely a senator. But I thought maybe he had some other, or maybe Minister of War or something for the United States at one point. Okay, well, you could look at him as a traitor and say, oh, well, we don't need Jefferson Davis statues anymore. And yeah, that could be very good. Very out in front of the capital of Richmond, or the building, or something like that. And yeah, okay, maybe he should go away. Where I don't support removing, say, a statue of General Lee, because he is a good military leader, and many people alive today's ancestors fought under him as a military action. And Lee himself was very conflicted over the breakup of the Union, and once the war was over, did just about everything he could in his power to promote reconciliation. Whether I heard they took down the Jefferson's statue in the capital of Kentucky. Yeah, if they take it down because and not because the mob is going to tear it down. If they take it down and they want to, used to be and Abe was in the room together, but now it's no more. And so, I have to think, I have to put myself in my shoes, and I go, well, what about, because, statues of Marx and Lenin, especially a lot of the people tore them down. Yeah, and if you actually have like a revolution, like in Romania, you had a revolution when you shot Ceausescu and you took it over. Well, okay, that's a revolution. Are we having a revolution now? Yes, in America, yes, and it's going to fail, but it may have effects. But even if you're looking at, say, Poland, Romania, Russia, I'm all for taking down the statues of Lenin and Marx, but I'm also for, maybe you ought to take a park somewhere. Could be out on the outskirts of one of your major cities or somewhere, and create a park of old statues, of communist statues. The communists can go there and have picnics, or people can go there as, school field trips and go, this is a statue of this evil man, Stalin, he killed. This could be like in Ukraine. He killed 5 million Ukrainians in the Holodomor, however many it was. I don't know. Maybe 3 million. I'm not sure. That doesn't matter. But, and so even, say, in the Ukraine, you can keep the statue and just move it to a park of shame, if you will. And, that's would be my solution for that. And, we look at it, and I actually didn't know this until recently. Karl Marx supported slavery and was a very big racist. He supported, because he was alive during slavery in America, and he wrote in support of slavery and thought that it was necessary in places like America, and very much supported slavery of black people, and was, presumably then a racist. So, so we're going to tear down the Karl Marx statues. Leftist people who want to tear things down. So, we're often judging people of the past by the way we judge things. And I'm also looking at this as a historian, not just, wanting to talk about what's going on today. And so, by that, and this is different than reading history backwards. This is trying to understand the motivations of the people, whether it's Stalin and Hitler and FDR or whatever. Because you talk a lot about, or some historians talk a lot about FDR, wanting to support China over Japan in the, Sino-Japanese war, going on, because FDR's family, I don't think so much FDR, but maybe he had investments too, but was at times very heavily invested, and I think a lot of America's elites were, in the China trade. Now, the American China trade was not the opium. They never went to the best of my knowledge, because you had to be a British ship to show up at British India ports. So it would have to be a total, complete smuggling operation in which the early enough on, while America still existed, the British East India Company had its own naval fleet, not just its vessels that had cannons on them to keep pirates away, but they actually had commissioned naval vessels sailing around, mostly for local piracy and maybe smuggling, anti-smuggling operations. going on. Or, of course, the Royal Navy, and into the 20th century, the Royal Navy, the East India Company, losing all of its military ability. And so, yeah, maybe theoretically they could have traded with some of the remainder French and Portuguese colonies. I don't know the laws, but so the U.S. trade with China isn't the opium trade, but there was the China trade. And so they look at FDR as maybe being motivated by money, whether personally or just simply, hey, money is good for America, so we're going to, follow the money, and that will help America out. Whether FDR had any stocks, any investments in the China trade at the time, I don't know, and whether I don't, just don't know if they're historians are saying that, but just going, hey, yeah, we need, trade is good, and so doing that is the motivation. And that's, again, Marxist, because Marxism, you can be a completely anti-communist and buy into, because you buy into economics, and this really shows up with Marx as the primary motivating factor of history. And you can look at that, say, as going back to Rome knows, maybe not well exactly where, but knows some of the major supplies of tin, which is fairly rare in the Roman world, but very much needed to make bronze, is coming from Britain, because otherwise you just have copper. And so you need bronze. I mean, they're out of the Bronze Age, but they used tons of bronze in the Iron Age. Is Rome motivated by money or other reasons for taking Britain? Now, I don't think Rome is motivated by money and going after Carthage. I think it's Carthage pushing into Sicily here, and hence being influenced the various political tribes. This is before Rome, has unified all of Italy there. And I think it's just periodic warfare that they go, well, we've got to take down Carthage. Now, this area, although they do sort of sow Carthage city itself with salt and whatnot, this area is a rather, at the time, it was warmer back then. They had more growing in North Africa, more various food growing in more North Africa than they do today. Maybe we'll warm the planet up a bit and change the weather patterns and get North Africa green again, but we'll have to wait on that. But that's another whole thing. So looking at it, food to supply Rome as being a motivation factor. So whether it was economic food or whether it was political, I think it was more political. So, but did they go after Britain because of not just tin, but that was a major thing there, and they knew it was traded from here, or was it more of a obviously it's a lot closer than it sort of appears with this map, but was it Celts, the Gauls were Celts from here, but Celts from here raiding down into here and being a threat and just purely wanting to expand in the eyes, just simply the ideology of expanding where you can expand. And so the way historians look at the past is, I think, too much viewed from their modern day circumstances. And this is what I'm still trying to come to grips what National Socialism, I mean, you can take just the words national and socialism, which very much they were, not necessarily Marxist socialism, but socialism, and it was nationally based, versus international socialism. But and I just trying, for various reasons, not just YouTube reasons, but trying to avoid the sort of shorter Nazi term. But the National Socialist viewpoint views things through race and the viewpoint of history, and this is very much in Hitler's belief, Hitler's mythology, that it's a constant struggle. And this part I sort of kind of have to agree with, is that there's a constant struggle. It's not always like a violent struggle, but it's a competition between cultures, is the way I look at it. And so we can see cultures that are on the rise, cultures that are on the decline. If they decline enough, you can have, failed states like Somalia and New Somalia, also known as Minneapolis, or Minnesota. Up here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, is where most of the Somali, I think tens of thousands of Somalis have settled. Wonder why they've had riots and problems and collapse there. And Ilhan Omar represents this district, a person who's lied on her, I think even to what her name is, on her application to become a U.S. citizen. So I think she is illegally a U.S. citizen, so then she is illegally run for Congress and is illegal in the Congress. But that's another whole thing. So they moved a failed state to America, and it's failing a state in America, that if it wasn't for massive Somali immigration to primarily greater Minneapolis area, we probably wouldn't have this. So we can look at a complete failed state and see this up here is now today called Somaliland, and basically maybe Saudi Arabia, but I don't even know if they, basically almost no one recognizes it as an independent country. But it is doing, and it was the former British colony area, it is doing so much better, and has its own currency, has a different currency. It prints its own currency, or it has printed and imports it, its own currency, which is different than Somalia, the failed state. So you can have a culture that collapses enough that the state will fail, and then eventually, somebody's going to come into the power vacuum. So it's not just, oh, hey, Hungary's a bit on the decline and Romania's on the rise, so the evil Romanians are going to come in and take over, fight to conquest. It's more like they may be looking at, hey, there's, Buda and Pest, which are sort of two different cities sitting next to each other. And I keep forgetting which one's which. But they're divided by a river. One, I think it's Buda is the mountain and Pest is the south side of the river. I don't know. Somebody can post in the chat or comment below later on. It could be that Buda and Pest are in a civil war, and it's just going crazy. And Romania okay, we've had enough of this. We're going to come in and take it over. It may be truly as a somewhat of a humanitarian type mission, but it also may be, well, hey, Austria or Slovakia is going to take it over, and then they might become a threat to us. So there are cultures at the rise and decline. And so that's my belief on things. And it doesn't mean that the struggle between Belgium and the Netherlands and Germany needs to go on, and it's going to struggle, and there's going to be, that's more Hitler's sort of extreme example of this. But Hitler believes in these struggles and he sees them as race. So he believes he needs to invade the Soviet Union. Not that he needs to invade it in 1941, but that there's going to become a war. And now he thinks 1941 is a well-timed invasion and it's going to collapse. But so he sees history through, both history and current politics through these viewpoints. And to understand the motivations, you have to do this. And this is where I think like TIK, and I don't mean to slam him, I think he does a great job with a lot of what he does. But he, was looking at Goebbels' diary and I believe he was accurately examining Goebbels' diary, but for talking about food starvation problems in Germany, that comes back to economics, whether the Soviet Union and to, hey, OCB, how you doing? I just didn't know she's, I'll get to some of the chat comments in a moment. Earlier, is it better to invade the Soviet Union or just use it as to get resources, including food? And they were getting food shipments coming in, and Germany was having severe problems. Whether the Soviet Union is functionally capable producing enough food to sell to Germany or not, that's another question. But they were supplying large amounts of food to Germany, but Germany was still in food shortages, and I believe that's very real, and that may be motivating to some degree the timing of it, of the invasion. But I think much more is it's seen as a a opportunity timing, and along with eventually we're going to do this anyway, so we might as well do it now. So yeah, you have to sort of try to understand the people from their perspective. And yes, U.S. spending a lot of money on China factories and other investments. China losing to Japan would obliterate. Yeah, and I'm not saying that doesn't have a factor, but is it more the humanitarian factor that is pushing? Is it more the geopolitical factor? You have the big empire of the Soviets, whether the U.S. thought it was dangerous or not, or the Germans thought it was dangerous or not. They set up the Anti-Comintern Pact, so obviously they did. But do we want another major superpower of Japan here that the U.S. is afraid? Or, so is it geopolitical? Is it moral help the Chinese people that are being slaughtered, the rape of Nanking and whatnot? What's motivating it? Or is it the economics primarily? I mean, I'm sure I'm absolutely sure that it's one of the, weights on the scales tipping the balance. But is it a big weight, or, the U.S. investments both, as a government and as individuals and as corporations and whatnot, is that a big weight or is that a minor weight? A Marxist viewpoint, and I want to separate that out from a communist, because I may be a capitalist, but a Marxist view of history will always put the biggest weight on economics, where I don't think that that's the case. I think that is a factor, but not the case. I remember the second invasion by Rome was motivated to show the public that the current government can do better than the train wreck first invasion was done by previous officials. Invasion of you, yes, because you have the sort of reconnaissance in force, which is my understanding is the first invasion by Julius Caesar, and it was in no way was his force, did he think, just because I know it, that he thought that he was going to conquer Britain with it. Now, did he think he could show up with his, and I forget how many, 2 or 3 legions or whatever it was, and say conquer southeast Britain or something, or because London was founded by Rome, but so it wasn't there at the sort of first major crossing point that you could do with bridging at the time, with at least other outside of major Roman bridging right there. But did they think that they could maybe set up a small Roman province of Britain or something like that, maybe, and stay, leave a legion in garrison and stay and whatnot? Or was it just truly meant to be we're there and we're back? And so it was Claudius. It wasn't so much Claudius. He more shows up and takes credit for it afterwards. But it was under Claudius is when you have the real sort of conquest. Earlier under Caligula, he sort of kind of tries, but sort of famously tells his legionnaires to, harvest seashells, take him away from Neptune, because Neptune foiled his invasion by storms or something. I don't know. But, so, yeah, it's, so, you have, the first is under Julius Caesar, then you have his nephew / adopted son, and I keep, because Augustus is the name that he sort of takes after, and we'll leave it at Augustus, when he becomes, in essence, in power, not really emperor. They don't use that term just yet. But Augustus, and then you have Tiberius, then you have Caligula, and then finally you have Claudius as now a little bit more emperor. So, so it's that long after that you finally get under the Claudian rule that you finally get the conquest of enough of Britain to call it a province. Under Claudius, still places like Wales were still not conquered, and of course they never get all of what is today Scotland. So yeah, and Hadrian's Wall, by the time they get up to where Hadrian's Wall is, it's several generations later to get up to there. Just to give sort of the history of that. So, and is all that motivated by profit? Well, to some degree, because if it's entirely unprofitable, if they were trying to conquer desert or something, yeah, that ain't going to happen. But, great. Hey, thanks. Smoking Comba, how you doing? So, yeah, that just sort of, so you have to look at that. I mean, after seeing her finish, it's really kickstarted the invasion. Yeah, the finish. I think how bad Soviet Union did in fighting the Winter War definitely colored incorrectly Germany's and particularly Hitler's opinion of what fighting the Soviets would be like. That is very true. Yes, and so that is very. It's sort of like, hey, small Finns. Yeah, Finns got lucky. Hey, Smoking Cobra, thanks for all of the emotes. Okay, hear that. Glad to hear that. I'm doing good. Okay, Octavian. Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Screw. Octavian. How you doing? Yep, that's right. Just going through the thing. I keep forgetting to, I know who he is. Oh, okay. It's you, Ari. Okay. Wish you guys sort of kind of kept some of the same things that I could keep. Yeah, Harry's famous for having a different personality name on different things. Long message incoming. We had a BLM protest here, and people are so angry that the dumb kids went to protest. And in our company, we had one guy who went to protest, so our company gave him 2 weeks quarantine without pay as he broke COVID-19 rules. That's very good, OCB. His colleagues support him, but we called him an idiot for going. Yeah, it is an idiot. Cause I actually sort of kind of thought here, because I live in, greater LA area, that, hey, yeah, I could start, I went through some health issues last year. So not that I may be in a super vulnerable position health-wise, but something of a vulnerable position. So I've been very super cautious over it, just because I don't want to go back to the hospital, even if I'm going to be fine after all of it, just a little sick or something, because most people don't die. I know all that. But I don't need to go through that. But now with everybody breaking quarantine and not just breaking quarantine, quote unquote, but breaking social distance and going in big mobs, that's really sort of made me retreat back a little bit like that. So it's not that I'm completely paranoid, or it's not that if you're going, hey, yeah, my country's opened up and I'm going to the restaurant, good for you. And I totally agree with a lot of people thinking a lot of the shutting down is silly at this point. But there's a difference between some social distancing, being separated from each other, in line at the supermarket and not sitting too close to each other and other sort of venues is big, continuing that for the next 6 months or something until, inoculations become more of a thing and whatnot. That's one thing, but it's another thing to keep businesses shut down when they don't need to be. So I'm going back to being more cautious. Get back to Sparks there. Okay, so yeah, I guess before I end this thing, my declarative statement is the killing of George Floyd should not have happened. It was very bad that it was happened. And I understand people protesting in America and particularly in Minneapolis about that, but they've already freaking charged all 4 of the cops involved. I think maybe 1 or 2 of them maybe shouldn't be charged with a crime. Definitely the guy that killed them should probably be 3rd-degree murder or something. Yes. And definitely all of the cops should be fired, and very likely all of the people, because supposedly it's now come out as the chief of police approved beforehand putting your knee on someone's neck as as an approved tactic to subdue a person. So maybe they need retraining in the police department. Also, on all of that, I'm all with you. Okay, now it's just become a social revolution. And so, yeah, we really don't want it, but we have, you have many things we got to do and about that. And so looting is, just because, centuries ago, white man. Yeah. And so it's become, so it's that. And if you look at, and a lot of people, well, yeah, but the cops just got to stop killing black people. Okay, here's a fact. It is, I don't know, FBI statistics are one of the major I think it's the Post or one of the major newspaper statistics. For the year of 2019 in the United States, last year, now maybe a lot more this year just because of all the violence, but a total of 10 black men that were considered unarmed were killed by the U.S. police. Out of 333 million Americans, 10 were killed. Now I think that's a pretty hard fact, but I think because I heard a rundown of all 10 of the cases real quickly, I think it's something like 4 of them. They were driving an automobile at the time, and at least like 1 or 2 of the cases, they were actively driving the automobile rapidly at a police officer trying to run him over, and the police officer was shooting the guy behind the car. Another time, I think a police officer was sort of hung up on the car and reaching in the car and trying to drive, and for his own life, he pulls out his, to save his life, he pulls the gun out and shoots it. So the car may not be considered being armed, but they were using the car as a weapon. And I think it's about 4 of the cases out of the years total that there were charges, either convictions or still they're going through the court case, charging the police officer with a crime of some sort, whether it's actually murder or just manslaughter or some other things. So that's 10. Now there may be other shootings, and there's maybe a lot of but only 10 unarmed black men were killed by police in 2019. So it is not an epidemic. I mean, a bad thing when it happens in an unjustified way, no doubt, but 10 cases. So around the world or in America, if you think that this is some sort of, that killing black men is some sort of epidemic, wherever you may be in America, is entirely not the case when you look at the scale of America. Those are basic facts. Now we can talk about social justice reforms, which I think, if you're interested in equal justice, social justice is contradictory to equal justice and whatnot. But those are other issues, and they don't require some of the stuff. Well, we're going to end not the live stream, so you guys can hang loose, but we're going to end this episode here. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. You can post below your thoughts and comments on anything talked about today. Love hearing from you. See you next time for more Hearts of Iron. Okay, yes, we'll save this, but we're going to continue. We will continue to save. Just not sure if I want to come back to this. Okay, yeah. Hey, I don't know, but were some of my Celtic ancestors slaves in Rome? Should Italy owe me reparations, and should I go to Italy and start, attacking them to get back stuff because some of the Celtic ancestors were slaves? You want to get somewhere, you have to work for it. Same for everyone. Yeah, no, and again, longtime viewers know. I have no concern, I have no concern over people's skin colors. I do not believe race is any significant factor in why groups of people behave or succeed or fail in ways because of their race. They may be discriminated against in places because of their race, and that's a reason they may fail, but not an inherent internal reason why they fail. I look at culture. And so I look at the African culture versus the African American culture, and they are different things. And there's different. Oh, and not all Africa is the same. You get like I understand the Igbo in this part of Nigeria. We're a very industrious people, but some of the other Black African tribal groupings, and I don't mean tribe as in one little village hut area, I mean sort of an ethnic group. There's a huge amounts of ethnic groups, just like, and with as much or maybe even more diversity between Italians and, Scandinavians and whatnot in sub-Saharan Africa. And then you do get sort of very old people like the Hottentots and the Bushmen of Southwest Africa, and that are not and they have different facial bone structure. I mean, they have dark skin and maybe curly hair, but you wouldn't think of them as your standard Caucasoid, I think, is actually the technical term for it. Whether that is inappropriate nowadays, I don't know. But, African, what you sort of think of this part of African, and it was really sort of the Zulu push to take over a lot of this, that then pushed other African tribes down into here, that into some of these other peoples that sort of inhabited down here that are not necessarily older, but were in this area earlier. So there's all these different cultures down here that, shall we say, general first world countries just lump into Africa. And so there's differences between them. And then, yes, very dark skin, but very, very different culture in Ethiopia. Now, whether that culture is very different because it has a very ancient form of Christianity that really starts as a form of Judaism that then converts peaceably to Christianity without conquest and in very disconnected from, shall we say, whether it's the Greek or the Latin church up here, or even the Coptic church that forms here, and whether it's they are that way because they get this Mediterranean influence, we'll call it, or whether they already had a developed culture that then gets important to that, I can't quite determined. But if you look at all of these different groupings, they're very, very different, and I see them in a major way as a cultural difference, not as a racial difference. And then do we impose our culture on them? Well, to some degree I think we should, because I think we should stamp out cannibalism, because we definitely find cannibalism in parts of Africa, but not very prevalent. Definitely we may still find some cannibalism in some of the remote areas in here, but there was a lot of that. And there was maybe not so much cannibalism, a little bit eating the heart and whatnot, but mass, I mean, as in tens of thousands killed in a day, mass human sacrifices with the Aztecs. Yeah, at some point, yeah, I do think we should impose our will on other cultures, but that doesn't mean we need to micromanage it or make it all ideal or something. They don't all have to like tacos. Now, they might all like tacos if they ate tacos, but we don't have to force them to eat tacos if they don't want to eat tacos. Say if you are an Indian, and whether you are just a meat-eating Hindu or a vegetarian-eating Hindu, but either way, you don't want to eat. Proper taco is a beef taco. Something else with, is just, putting pork in there, pulled pork is not really a taco. It's sort of, kind of, but not really. So, yeah, okay, if they don't want to eat beef, they don't want to eat meat, a vegetarian taco ain't no taco. But so whether they would like it or not, we're not going to force the whole world to eat tacos. But if they want to, they can. And so, yeah, it's... I'm a culturalist. I will judge individuals are individuals, but I will judge large groups of people based on their culture. And sometimes, yes, most all Japanese culturally in Japan are also ethnically or racially, or however you want to say it, Japanese. But correlation does not necessarily mean causation. And what's we been saying? Ace Watkins, 2020 gamer president candidate. I dream of a future where people are judged not by the color of their skin, but whether their skin was earned in-game or purchased at shop. Okay, you want to talk about so much? Oh, in Africa, well, you have the you can talk about racism in a sort of modern sense in which Uganda here kicks out all of the Indians that the British Empire, or just large numbers of them, and that are most of them are living in Britain nowadays, and which are some of the most, including what is the Priti Patel. What is she? The Secretary of the Interior, or whatever equivalent of that is in Britain. She is an Indian of whose family was refugeed out from Uganda. And they're some of the most staunch defenders of Britanism, shall we say. Whether it's colonialism or not, that's another, in a sense. But in Britanism, they're staunch defenders of that today. And so whether you have that or simply anti-white, well, you have the whole Rwanda. It's Brunei. Here's Rwanda. Sort of this sort of Belgium taking over parts of Tanganyika is where you get these two here. But in Rwanda, you have, what is it, the Hutsi versus the Tutsi that did the genocide back in the 90s, killing mostly with machetes and killing each other and butchering each other. So, yeah, that's racial. And that's racism. Even with black-skinned people and outsiders that aren't, you can't really tell apart. If you study them, Hello, El Cinvero. Oh, man, I mess those things up. We'll just call you Vulnerado. I hope I get that right. Well, yeah, albinism is definitely a thing, and it's my understanding, and I always worry about getting into areas of knowledge that I'm not good at, but my understanding of the genetics that I was taught when I was back in university, it is a recessive gene. So it is probably something carried in a lot more people than that realize it. And it would take two, a male and female that both have that recessive gene to then make it show up as have an albino child, so that if you have an albino person who then has, marries, or whatever you want to say that, a person who doesn't have that as a recessive gene, their children probably wouldn't have albinism. So racial hygiene, which gets back to National Socialism, can be a very, very dangerous thing. So yeah, I hear what you're saying, but if you start out albinism, and then what do? Do we test everybody for the albinism gene and then forbid them from having children? Do we sterilize them? Or if you test everybody with albino genes, you then forbid them simply to marry other people that have it, so that so the recessive gene doesn't come out. How much do you want to get into eugenics? So you can see that is a very slippery slope. So I don't know how prevalent that gene is in the general population. I do not know that it is any more likely, unless there's two albinos or people with the recessive gene mating or whatever, having children, are any more likely to spread it than people who have it and don't realize it, have that albino gene in them. So, yeah, that can be very dangerous, what you're saying there. I get that you're probably meaning it in a positive way, but you can see how you can just start making what sounds like a good, this is a bad trait, we don't want it to spread. Well, how do you stop it? And then, it's a recessive thing. Now, I may be entirely wrong about that recessive thing. I don't think it's a dominant gene, but there may be many other factors that I don't know, or science either didn't know when I was being taught that in school, or still doesn't know in all of that. That's why we don't know. Don't excuse the actions taken against them. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not trying to excuse anybody's actions. Well, yeah, black on Asian violence. Yeah, I've been sort of informed. Some of the black on Asian violence in Africa is based on like a recent mining accident in one of the country. I forget one of the countries down here. The Chinese operated mine that a bunch of black Africans in a cave-in that weren't rescued or something, I don't know. A bunch of that, as well as reports coming out of China's been blaming COVID or reemergence of COVID on Africans. So a lot of people, in China, I mean, it's a minuscule amount, but it may be a few tens of thousands of black Africans living in China. A bunch of them had been evicted from their homes and had literally nowhere to go and know nothing in China recently, in the last 3 or 4 months. And reports of that getting back to Africa and infuriating people has been a thing. So, you have that going on in Africa as well. And some of the African nations are just more violent for various reasons, and not necessarily ethnic based, but their cultures are more violent. So I'm always reluctant to start talking about that stuff, because either one, people will clip it and take it out of context, or two, if I just mention something in passing, I'm not giving the full context. So I don't want to go too deep into all of that. But so I very much am just go back to it, a culturalist. Because I know, living in Southern California, say the difference between a Japanese American and a Japanese, and they're both 100% genetically Japanese, shall we say, that those are two very different people, especially by the time you're getting third generation Americans. And I've known both those type of people as well as Japanese. So, and they're very different. And then you can find a very different culture of the Japanese from Hawaii. They're much more hang loose, much more Hawaiian culture than them, and they may all share a love of sushi or something like that, to be sort of stereotypical, but they're culturally very different. And so things like that, growing up around that, has taught me that it's not race, it's culture. And so and it's a real big factor. And it is a much bigger factor than any genetic factor. Sure, mentioning like albinism, genetics does play a significant role for individuals, but it's not what I think is the determining factor in many issues. Okay, let's make another episode. Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 4 with all the DLCs up to La Resistance, but otherwise the straight game, and we're playing as the Soviet Union. We have done a grand encirclement of the Ukraine, and we're going to slaughter the armies that are trapped in it, that are bigger and more devastating than Stalingrad or Tunisia, for that matter. You go there, you push there, you push there, you push there, you push there. You just simply take out that so that we stop worrying about all that. I should stop all these other commands. Let's move the armored divisions this way. I don't think we need to waste our tanks just closing pockets down like that, or crushing pockets. I think we can do that with infantry.
Внимание! Готов выдвигаться. Смирно! Готов?
Because we are having something of a deficit on tank production. Well, Germany was doing pretty well for a while. If you look at, I mean, they pushed us all the way back, so it was doing fairly well.
Так точно.
It's, you know, it's, quite honestly, I know what you're saying about clubbing seals there, but I wouldn't be doing this good if the other AI, the various allied AIs, hadn't taken that. Now, between the Italian and the Vichy French AI, we see a domination of Africa, and there, though we have seen landings here in Greece. I don't know if coming from Cyprus or where, but yeah, so if it wasn't for that, we would not be doing as good. So I don't know, you know,
Слушаю.
that, I mean, yeah, the AI sucks. I'm not going to argue that it doesn't, but
Выходим.
if we didn't have some of the AI already doing other things here, we would not be in as good a position.
Я готов. Я готов.
Okay, guys, you push to there. 2 divisions. No, 2 divisions push.
Готов выдвигаться.
You come to there. You can push there. Okay.
Готов выдвигаться. Так точно. До приказа. Слушаю. Готов выдвигаться. Ройс. Слушаю. Слушаю. Внимание. Так точно. Я готов. Готов выдвигаться.
Yeah, I was being pushed back. Which, of course, you know, knowing or figuring the way the AI is, that wasn't necessarily a good feeling.
Внимание.
Come on, guys. You can move to there.
Внимание. Выходим. Готов выдвигаться.
Similar trigger for Germany when it arrives near Stalingrad. I don't know.
Ройс.
The AI has improved from the early days for sure. Anybody who's trying to tell you that it hasn't. Now that doesn't mean I think it's good. I'm just saying it's good in comparison to how crap it was before. You guys all cut that one. I mean, and that's really my thoughts of what it was before, which is basically total crap. Now it's just bad. Still worse than the parts of Iron 3 AI, in my opinion. Okay, let's push there, and you guys can push there.
Готов? Выходим! Смирно! Выходим!
And it's, you know,
Мирно!
I was doing bad when I was micromanaging it. It got worse once I gave it over to the AI to do some of the stuff. And again, you can look at one of the examples was it was somewhere in here. I was trying to hold a line like here, but I still had a couple of 2 or 3 provinces a bit deeper that had been, you know, they were, I think it was like literally like these 3 provinces here. And once I drew an AI front, it then decided to try to hold these otherwise, you know, rear or deep or create pockets, and they did create pockets, and the units got cut off and destroyed. So it's, you know, it's just sometimes basic things that it's just not doing, or it's doing, you know, the idea of putting itself into bad positions. They could have easily withdrawn all of the forces from this pocket, saved them all, and then did a counteroffensive. But no, they tried to hold the pocket.
Внимание!
You see, like here, they did push back here. Okay, so we don't like that.
Готов выдвигаться!
Here we go. We're gonna push into there.
Готов!
Okay, we are in winter here. Okay, you take out that pocket there. Just shut it down. Get us a factory
Так
back.
точно! Выходим!
You 10 divisions that we just there. You attack there.
Готов выдвигаться! Жду приказа!
Now, let's
Слушаю!
take those 3 and push there.
Жду приказа! Так точно! Внимание! Так точно!
Come on, people, just attack. Don't try to surround anymore, just attack. Just drive in at them.
Готов?
That is what you're supposed to be doing, because they are hurting.
Брось! Слушаю! Готов!
Well, hello, Fight Club. Why didn't I start a total attack plan? In the boiler battle, in the cauldron, the Kessel. Well,
Так точно!
I don't know how to answer. I am pushing on them and have been pushing. So
Мирно!
now, why am I not having the relying on the AI? Because the AI is acting badly. Keeps wanting to move forces around and not just attack.
Слушаю!
Because we have plenty of forces to attack, but they're constantly, see, like here, this pocket is now open, and because of the freaking AI,
Готов?
you're gonna detach, unassign, and you're gonna come over here, and oh, we have all these forces. You come down here. Okay. And so battle plans, which we obviously have here, but I can just all these times see all this stuff that just,
Выходим!
you know, they'll want to, oh, let's send forces in around to surround this or that.
Выходим! Выходим!
Just like this guy. Why are they sending him around with
Я готов.
strategic redeployment?
Выходим.
Yes, I know it's faster, but it moves you in a disorganized way. Yeah,
Готов.
the bonuses, I do sort of have a similar feeling. They're not always like right there. You're gonna F and get out. You're gonna F. Okay.
Ройс.
Okay, you keep going there. You panzers come right down to here. Keep this damn thing closed. Okay, use the horse units to get there fast. And either close or reclose it. It's things like that that the AI is. See, like, look at this guy. Okay, you're gonna go all. No. Just drive straight that way. Come this way. Tanks come in. The tanks are not, haven't been drawn the battle line, so I understand why they're not doing what they're doing. Yes, not all these forces are under AI control, of course, but
Ройс.
enough of them are. Like this guy. Where are you going here? No, just move north. Go there, attack. Why aren't you attacking? Where, you know, you don't need to go there. You go here. Push there. No, you push there. You guys push here. You go into the empty province.
Выходим.
No.
Выходим.
No, stop. Okay. Stop. You come here. Okay, advanced computing machine. Well, we're running through a lot of what we want to do. Well, that would help if we had enough forces. You start with one division and attack. Yeah,
Готов выдвигаться.
there's different ways to play the game for sure. I normally don't do the battle plans. Obviously you see some, not so much battle plans drawn, but just defensive lines, and that's what they originally started out as. You move into there, you move into there. You here. Go. Yeah.
Ройс. Слушаю. Выходим.
Why are you going there? No, you just go north to there. Why are you going around? Just go straight through the empty province.
Внимание.
And now, see, there we go. See how easy that was? We just stop and slaughter them all. No, you guys come here.
Выходим.
Doesn't.
Мирно. Слушаю.
I will put those. So there's, now, see, now that's going reasonably far.
Готов. Выходим. Так
No,
точно.
don't circle around. Attack. See, there we go. That pocket's done. You move up to there.
Готов.
You move up to there. Hold from that counterattack that is now meaningless.
Слушаю.
Okay, so mostly the Great Ukraine pocket has been crushed. Make Stalingrad look like a minor action.
Выходим.
Okay, well, good. Oh, you had to fall back. Well, we return to the advance.
Готов.
Well, let's see if we can do another pocket.
Так точно.
Even just a couple of divisions is useful to pocket.
Слушай.
Let's do a spoiling attack there. Now down here, okay, 10 divisions. That's enough to push a front attack there. Yeah, it can be. Hello, USA man. How you doing? Will you increase your manpower laws? Well, currently we're running at, I think, what is it, extensive conscription. We could go to service by requirement. Thanks for following. Do appreciate that, Fight Club. But right now I don't know. Yeah, I don't need more divisions fast, so we'll do this just to make sure we keep up our manpower against all of our losses. Okay, I think. Okay, let's trash all of your plans, and then let's grab all of your units. We're going to send you up to here because we want to be able to. I think we have enough down in the south to be able to push effectively. And where we're needing, oh well, it's, you know, come on guys, let's take these guys out.
Что приказано? Готов выдвигаться.
14, so it was 17 divisions there at one point. That last remaining little pocket. Hey, thanks also for following. I don't know, Anicor or whatever, sorry. I'm butchering the name, I just read it quickly.
Готов.
Okay. The combat logs, yes. Oh. You know, the current German-Soviet war. They've lost 5 million men, well, 3.4 million to the Soviets. We've lost all of ours, just about, well, I guess Romania, Hungary, but we've lost half the number of men overall. So we're doing fairly well. Okay, more production we can do. How are we doing for tanks? We're still under. We need more. Need more fighters, more all kinds of stuff. Okay, but I think we're still going to focus on. We need more infantry equipment too. Okay, basic infantry equipment, 30,000 down. That's enough that I'm going to want to just, let's see, put some more there. Searching for a mod where I can produce machine like MG34 later, also machine guns for another nation. Well, yeah, Black Ice. That's what I would say. Try that. That has down to pretty good models of things. Not just machine guns, but other. Okay, yes, we're repairing a lot of infrastructure, which is nice, but I want to spam in a few more factories. Oh, back here and other places, let's see, okay, that's, I'm looking for a place with lots of extra slots. How's Moscow doing? Where's Moscow here? Nope, that's too far east. Here it is. Yeah, we'll do it. There we go. And then we'll leave that others for some Yeah, so I would definitely check out Black Ice if you haven't. Okay, you guys attack that pocket. That pocket now should die.
Что приказано?
Well, I don't think we're going to wait on
Готов.
all the reinforcements coming up here like we could see there, but let's start an attack. Okay, come on, people. Well, now I don't want to get overly stacked into one area and have a
Готов выдвигаться.
let's supply problems. Let's head to here. Yeah, bringing forces in, but we're also reorganizing by doing that.
Выходим! Готов? Так точно. Выходим!
See, we're overstacked in some of these areas here.
Готов выдвигаться.
So let's
Слушаю.
Relegated by the UK and Dutch. Yes. The Netherlands. Well, I don't so it's not so much the Dutch. I think I mean the Dutch may have forces there now that they've been liberated, but it's I think mostly Allied forces. British and American. They're pushing up into here in these places. So yeah, that's really helping. Africa though is Vichy French and Italy controlled mostly. So I mean, like Greece, I think is not really so much Greece. There may be some Greek units now, but it's not much of a thing as well. Okay, you come to... Well, let's see if we can push north of Kiev, I think. Hey, you just attack. Big mountain of attack. Doom stack of attack. Yes, I know that's not necessarily the best
Что
thing.
приказано?
Okay,
Слушаю. Выходим!
start your attack there.
Готов? Выходим!
This is a smarter thing.
Выходим!
Not a doom stack, just a good attack. Yes, Hamburg is under British rule currently. Starting to liberate Denmark. Norway is almost liberated also.
Брось!
That didn't work out well. Okay, doom stack attack benefits.
Готов выдвигаться.
What it's going to take.
Что приказано? Так точно. Готов выдвигаться. Готов выдвигаться. Брось! Выходим! Внимание!
Yes, we're doing winter offensives. Whether they're good for us or not, I'm not absolutely sure. But we're doing them nonetheless.
Мирно! Выходим!
Well, we can do more research. And yes, we will do continuous offensive, and we will spend the extra to rush it through. Okay, let's move some of our armored forces down here. Get ready to move into Romanian held territory.
Слушаю. Выходим! Выходим!
What did dogfighting look like on the Eastern Front? As in aerial combat, all kinds of things going on, as far as I can tell. From very coordinated actions to very, chance, haphazard, almost bump into each other kind of actions. The Soviets particularly like to use some night attacks because and it wouldn't be so much dogfighting, I guess, but they using out of date aircraft and do things like come in, turn off their engines, glide in towards where they believe the enemy is, and do an attack, and then turn the engines on and pull away. Germans did have night fighters on the Eastern Front, though most of them were trying to beat off the British attacking Germany directly. They're doing some of that. I really don't have a good particular description. Yes, yeah, night witches, yeah. They did that type of stuff. Thanks, Arno, for posting the link there. I am definitely not an air warfare expert. I've watched a very good series, if you haven't watched it, called Wings of the Luftwaffe. I highly recommend it. It covers German aircraft, but they talk about some of the tactics used in different locations. Now, it's been a while since I've watched the series, but it is a good series. Okay, let's see if we can keep this from being a complete total just doom stack. Let's see if we can be sort of kind of smart about this.
Готов! Выходим! Мирно!
No, come this way then. You have to specify it, and you attack across the river there. So these are being hit by more than one province. Okay, we need a little stronger attack forces on both of these. At least, okay. We'll get a little more support there.
Готов выдвигаться. Ройсь! Выходим! Так точно!
Where are we getting revolts? Okay, some NKVD. I thought I had an NKVD unit selected. Nope. There we are. Let's come up over here.
Выходим!
People are disagreeing with
Ройсь!
socialism. What should I do? How could anybody disagree with socialism?
Готов выдвигаться.
We have a gun to their head. They should agree to socialism. Socialism takes a gun to the head to even moderately be acceptable.
Внимание!
Without a gun to the head, people will get
Так точно!
weird ideas of freedom and independence of thought. Just throw a hammer and sickle at him. Yeah.
Так точно! Я готов! Готов выдвигаться. Выходим! Выходим! Слушаю.
Okay, you guys have attacked several times and been unsuccessful, so attack again. Success doesn't mean that the plan was bad, just you didn't carry it out well.
Слушаю. Выходим! Так точно. Я готов.
See if we can create another pocket in here. Okay, let's see if we can jump this river. Armored forces.
Смирно. Брось.
Okay, let's
Брось.
push in that way. Oh hell, we got way too many divisions here. Cross this damn
До приказа.
river and take these guys out. Okay,
Внимание.
can you assault there too? There we go.
Так точно. Смирно. Внимание. Готов. Слушаю.
There we go. They may just beat me to Berlin this time. Okay, carousel bombing. Maybe we'll do carousel bombing. We're not doing much. Naval air operations.
Я готов. Я готов.
The spoiling attack there maybe might help.
До приказа.
Push in there, the armor could maybe help there too. We still have some air operating here. But it's strategic bombers. They're not really worth using right now. Never mind.
Смирно.
Oh good, we're here.
Я
That means we
готов.
can cross the river. Push
До приказа.
into here.
До приказа.
You push in there as a spoiling attack to let them get across.
Выходим.
Maintenance company, well good. We don't really have the support equipment to properly deal with it. Okay, well let's build through advanced artillery upgrade.
Так точно. Смирно. Слушаю. Смирно. Готов. Так точно.
Come on, how many times do we have to say go and take this damn province and you don't do it?
Готов выдвигаться.
No, come down here, you fools, and attack not across the river, but just there.
Смирно! Готов выдвигаться. Выходим! Так точно.
Push them from Kiev. Yeah, well, we're gonna try to circle up and around, I'm hoping, while we're just going in a stupid way. Let's...
Мирно!
I want to get across this river here.
Брось!
I know we're fighting into one of our
Брось!
bunker lines.
Мирно!
Okay, well, push here.
Так,
Push, no, push here.
жду приказа. Брось! Выходим!
Yes, you advance to there. So we cut that off. Great race to Berlin won't happen. Well, they're racing there. Okay, I'll not totally cut that off yet.
Жду приказа.
Too many divisions. You head up that way.
Я готов.
Come on, one of these offensive work. They've got way too many troops there. I can see that, but we want to hold them up to maybe get across to here. We have a sucky general. They've got another Italian general, which should be sucky more, but I don't know. We're not moving our forces into the front line for some reason.
Смирно! Выходим! Выходим! Жду приказа.
You're doing better for us this time than you did last time. Or did in the real war. Yeah, the US is sending me some goodies. Oh, wants to send me more. Okay. Oh, yes. Oh, Thompson. Yeah, school support equipment. Very good. Some fighters, bombers, some convoys on a monthly basis. Yes. Please do. And we can build more stuff. Let's see. How are we doing for just basic infantry equipment? Ooh, we're massively low on that. So let's come to here, and that's a basic thing that we need. So we'll get that going. Let's look at our factories. Okay, good. Start building factories a bit more west now. Okay, come on, guys. Attack. Partially because I think you should be able to win. Partially just to force them to have more forces. Okay, well, you support the attack from this side. Can that turn the tide? Some armored divisions. Come on, you can do it.
Жду приказа.
I almost believe in you. No, you can't do it.
Жду
Damn.
приказа.
Okay, send a large force up here. Did they ever? Okay, here they are.
Готов выдвигаться.
Actually, you know, let's head over. Let's head up to here and then down that way. Oh, we have a lot more forces have showed up. Very nice. Okay, keep the south from being too overly full. Let's move you here. And additional armored forces.
Выходим.
Okay, 43. Let's see. That is, I think, basically they're invading Sicily about then. Let me think. Okay. Obviously, well, June 6th, 44, is we have D-Day. June 5th, the day before, we have the Allies taking Rome. So that's in June 44. So 6 months before that, well, a year and 6 months. I think they're taking Palermo. It is in the, well, this is Stalingrad, I guess. This is Stalingrad going right now, or Stalingrad's just fallen right now. And so, no, actually, yeah, no, this is, yeah, oh, wait a minute. This would be 43. No, this would be Tunisia's falling now. So the Allies would be in Tunisia. I think of these things in sequence more than what year. So, yeah, because it's they do in the winter that's going from 42 to 43, that December Christmas, they do the false radio broad, or they do a national, they started doing every year at Christmas a sort of national broadcast, radio broadcast in Germany with soldiers from all the different fronts. Well, they had a fictitious one supposedly broadcasting out from Stalingrad, holding out. Stalingrad was still holding out at the time, but they had no real ability to join in the sort of broadcasts from the multiple fronts and areas and whatnot for the Christmas show. So they're doing that in December, so just a month or so. But I think by February, Stalingrad has, and the whole pocket has fallen. I'm not sure exactly on the date on that. So that's Stalingrad. And so that would also be about the same time Tunisia is collapsing. So yeah, so that's so to give you sort of, so the Germans, when this is happening, still have a large force down here in the Caucasus. Of course, they hold back more along this line here in Ukraine. They're holding a front line somewhere around here and are still holding outside of, still having Leningrad invested, meaning they're up to Lake Ladoga here. So that they're sort of surrounded that. So that's Germany on the Eastern Front. The Leningrad front down to somewhere here, down to sort of the Rostov here and here. Eventually they have to fall back out through the Kerch Peninsula to retreat that way. But so that's sort of the Eastern Front there. And about this time you have Rommel collapsing in Tunisia. Yeah, that's the thing, because it's later in 43 that you get the Sicilian invasion. So I guess that answers your question, hopefully well. Okay, looks like most all of Norway has been liberated. I still teeny a little bit up there. I don't think we need these. Well, I don't know if I want to move there. Denmark has been liberated. No, still not doing well in Africa for some reason. Don't know why. But, and well, they've done another landing down here. I'm sure this is mostly German troops fighting in Vichy, France. But, yeah, okay. So, yes, we are ahead of that schedule considerably. Okay, where is my large force of... Hey, thanks for following. Didn't I send a big stack over here? Maybe it's just these guys here.
Выдвигаться. Ройс! Выходим!
Oh, they're still moving there. Okay. Yeah, that's where I want them to go. Come on, cross the damn river. And yeah, I know that's not a good position there, but that's just covering for this attack. Here, that should be working better. Put units into the front line, you stupid fool.
Слушаем! Внимание! Ройс! Мирно!
Well, at least you have units in the front line.
Жду приказа.
Okay, those forts are holding out a little stronger than I would like. So let's
Жду приказа.
push here.
Готов.
Send these armored forces around like that.
Так точно.
You can also no come
Выходим!
that okay. Just a little reluctant to throw too many forces into this area for overstack penalties. And okay, now the river, they held the river. Well, we're gonna let them hold that river for the moment.
Жду приказа.
You come back into the attack.
Так точно.
You support that attack.
Ройс!
Okay, large stack of divisions. Well, you're overly stacked here, so let's take half,
Выходим!
come down here, take the other half and come up to here, at least to there.
Выходим!
Well, I'm changing my mind to there.
Ройс!
Okay, better infantry weapons, but I'm still just want to make more infantry weapons and not better ones. Better ones will produce faster, cheaper. We might need to upgrade our anti-tank though. Yeah, the white. Yeah, I see that.
Готов? Мирно!
Okay. Attack with all of your armor units.
Слушаю!
Support that attack. Maybe we can do another big encirclement here.
Смирно! приказа.
Okay, too many units go. Attack before you start losing organization.
Так
You
точно.
fall back to there. You guys come up around there, get out of the supply
Так
problem.
точно. Зададим
Okay,
жару.
let's take just a few random units here and move to another. Stop attacking. Okay, come on. Yeah.
Выходим. Внимание.
These
Слушай.
guys are all going to mostly attack just simply to pin the forces so they can't concentrate against me there. Okay, good, you made it to here. Push up that way.
Брось.
You follow to there.
Мирно. Готов. Смирно. Внимание. Внимание. Мирно.
What's the PPS 43? Okay, basically it's a somewhat rationalized PPSH, because it started PPSH in both cases, I believe. PPSH 41. The 41 had a drum magazine. The 43, they developed the PPD, which had a drum magazine. And they realized they needed more technological development, but they hadn't used it really much in a war when they started working at the PPSH. And so they stuck with a drum magazine. Well, drum magazines are great when you have one magazine. Carrying additional magazines are bulky and slow to reload. Not very good. So I would love, for like in a submachine gun, a drum magazine. But then you need a pouch to stick it in once you remove it, and then use stick magazines after that. So the PPSH 43, they decide to go to a stick magazine and have a folding stock similar to the MP 40 type folding stock. So it's sort of adding a folding stock to the gun instead of a wooden stock. So those are, at least my knowledge, and I'm sure there's other internal mechanical, I don't know if improvements is the right term, but changes. Not all changes are improvements, of course.
Мирно.
One of you stop advancing so that we don't get cut off.
Готов выдвигаться.
Hoping to push with this force down this way and this force up
Атаку.
here.
Готов
One
выдвигаться.
of you, like I say, stop attacking.
Готов.
Yes. Oh, yeah. No, there's. That's why I say not necessarily. Oh, well, look. Wow. Look at what is that? The United States has invaded here. They are really pushing. That's definitely invasion. Okay. Like, and I said that's why I was sort of careful about saying not necessarily improvements
Готов выдвигаться.
in the sense of better guns. Just changes and making things easier to produce is a significant change that,
Внимание.
you know, stuff that they wanted to do. What's going on in France? Okay. Well, the sort of And again, I don't think this is primary Vichy forces. I think this is primarily Germany battling there. Paris is currently in Allied hands. But the Americans are smart. If they can, do more landings. Okay, we have a pocket here now. Good. Crush it. Crush it ruthlessly. Attack in there. Help them out. Okay. Attack down into there. You're coming into there. Good. Okay, select half the forces attack here, the other half attack there. And you can support the weaker attack. Okay, you guys go up there except for one in the hold. Okay, move up into there. Why didn't you keep attacking? Okay, good. You've taken that. You rush down to there. Maybe we can get across that river before. Okay, you support the attack. More forces are coming up. Good. Support the attack. And attack with one staying back. Come on, infantry divisions. Fill in the gaps. No, it takes supply, but fill in the gaps so that we don't weaken our main thrust too much. Okay, expeditionary. Oh, you want to give me an expeditionary force again? Okay, fine. Well, I think we probably just more infantry weapons. Yeah, we're 60,000 down. Okay, what we're gonna do is cancel all these we don't need, and we don't need. We're canceling new units. I know we have the men, but we really don't have the supplies for that. That will help. We went from 60,000 down to 40,000, just that. And let's see, we'll produce these in batches of 5 now. We'll do that. This is cheaper to make. Actually, this should be cheaper to make, but it's not, because those are just cheaper submachine guns. I don't remember how it happened, if Sweden joined the alliance or conquered and the USA conquered it again. No, this is, Sweden is still neutral. This is just the color of the USA here, so the colors, you're just maybe sort of confused. But Sweden is neutral, the USA is here, and this is occupying German territory, so it's blue. This is liberating Polish territory, so it's pink, or whatever you want to call that. Okay, you can push there. You can join that attack. Okay, 24 divisions. You come down here to here. You support that attack. Okay, another pretty good pocket. I'm going to push the Americans back a bit. Okay, well, we're in 43, so let's do more concentrated industry, that will be helpful. Okay, well, Grodno looks like a good place to attack with that large stack of units. New attack just to delay any transfer there.
Мирно.
Okay, one of our generals is wounded. Much we're gonna do about it. Mostly we have sucky generals left. Well, they're pushing back here. Well, I think we'll hold. Falls ill. Uh-oh, pocketed. What happened? What happened? We allowed them to take it there.
Так точно.
Come on, people. Before they kill that pocket, reconnect.
До приказа.
Support the attack.
Внимание. Выходим.
Attack in that direction too. Just to make sure everybody's attacking. Come on, we don't want to lose that pocket. Come on, you almost got that.
До приказа.
Send a couple of the better
Готов.
organized and equipped divisions back there so it's not just one. Okay, good. Good. Counterattack. Attack into there. So that we're attacking everywhere.
Внимание.
Okay, you. Well, not you, but the rest of those, and you attack that way.
Вперед.
Come on, you can do it. You can do it. There we go. There we go. Okay, well,
Готов. Выходим.
you come to there.
До приказа.
You
Выходим.
and you actually move back to over there, and you guys can just smash into there.
До приказа.
That was a little closer than comfort.
Готов выдвигаться.
Support that attack. You guys can attack across the river there. You can go in with your tanks. Support that.
Так точно.
You guys can push into there. You can
Выходим.
follow that up.
Готов.
Okay, actually I found what happened was that the game where the UK was in the Axis, I played Japan and had to defeat the whole Axis because UK declared war on me. Yeah, war in Iraq. Yeah, weird things can happen with this. Most assuredly. Well, the USA has done another landing down in Italy and Sicily. Yes, good. Well, let's see if we can push here to help.
Внимание. Так точно.
Okay, now that we have our armor better organized,
Внимание.
go back there, make sure we're not cut off again.
Я готов. Мирно.
There we go, got the pocket again. Well, I think we're going to end this episode here. I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for liking the videos. If you haven't already, and many of you haven't, please subscribe to me on YouTube. You can follow me over on Twitch. And, of course, if you're a Mixer kind of guy, we'd love to have you there. Harry's been holding up the Mixer end today. Thank you. I do hope to grow there over time. So that's very good. Thanks, everyone, for watching. And end the episode. Yes, there we go. Let's just German manpower law now. Oh, well, let's see. See if we can get an intelligence appreciation here for Germany. Where? Oh, yeah, here. It is all adults serve. They're currently available manpower 3 to 4 million. Yeah, they're struggling for manpower. So yeah, and I think we will be ending the live stream in just a few minutes. So I want to thank all of you for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. We will be playing War Thunder, at least I will be playing War Thunder, and any of you who like. And if we get enough, we'll do some custom battles tomorrow. Oh wait, no, yeah, I'm heading out. So yeah, War Thunder tomorrow. Wednesday, though the time shifted a little bit, we'll be playing Panzer Corps 2 over on Slytherine's Twitch channel, streaming that there if you want to join me there. It's good to follow them over on Twitch. There's a lot of good streamers over there. So yeah, so we're doing War Thunder then, or War Thunder tomorrow and Panzer Corps on Wednesday, and of course next weekend we will be continuing this. I thought maybe, or Ari really thought, but I thought maybe we would conclude this, but no, we're not there yet. So we have more to do on this. I want to defeat Germany and Italy for sure. We've already taken out Japan. Well, the Americans have taken out Japan. Well, the United Kingdom has pushed into Africa a bit better. Okay, good. Hello, Genoese. Is it too easy to defend Barbarossa's human play? Well, I was actually losing. It wasn't until the Allies attacked in Europe and did some invasions around here. I was losing, and then I did you can look back, I will be posting the videos, did an encirclement of the Ukraine. So it wasn't until then that I was able to push back. So without all of this happening, I would not be doing so well. I'm not saying I'm a particularly great player, but I think I'm a decent one. But I was losing, being pushed back. So, yeah. Yeah, so there will be more stuff. You can check it on the YouTube channel. They will be posted. I'm making them live and then posting. So whether you want to go back to the live posts or the episodes and see how it happened. But you can see, this is an American liberation of Poland that's going on, invasion there. Norway, Denmark has all been taken. And Vichy France is Germany fighting in France still. Italy is now, being invaded. So yeah, without all that going on, I would not be where I am. So thanks, everyone. See you soon, I hope.